All right, we are back. Did some trial and error and found the culprit with what was creating trouble on the stream. I see why people hate OneDrive. We use it to sync our data around and everything, but whenever I shut certain things down, it started syncing up files and pushing it out, and it was just like soaking up all the bandwidth. So anyway, we're back. Just check everything, but I'm actually trying the dual stream to see if we can push video out onto shorts a little bit and or like a camera only setup, which is like conversational. I think we really need to figure out more to do on the stream, because before we used to do, hold on, it looks like it's pulling up the data. We used to actually do more of a format where it was discussion based, you know? So I don't know. We'll give it a shot, but it's pretty cool, I think, to be on the shorts so people can scroll. So welcome to the stream. You know, it's a little bit later in the evening, so I'm having tea over here, but I actually wanted to do a morning coffee segment, which I thought would be pretty cool. So yeah, you know, we're hanging out. Normally these past couple days we're talking about game development and basically 3D modeling software. I ended up over these Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think we're now Wednesday, I ended up going with Blender because obviously it's open source. It does a lot of cool things with hair and clothing and everything like that. So I think once we get more stuff going on with that, we can actually demo it on the stream or maybe make a video out of it. We have some thoughts. We want to actually put some content out. And actually Godot, which is an open source free game engine. We could have done Unreal and done all the heavy lifting stuff, but I feel like it'd be pretty fun to see how far we could push an open source engine. So it's really cool, easy to onboard, very, very fast to do things. So short of using preloaded assets and all that good stuff, I think it's a lot of fun. But anyway, one of the biggest things I think we did on our live streams, we actually did this on Twitch, is we actually built the Nintendo Labo kits. And that was like 4 or 6 hours across, maybe longer, across a couple of days. It was our Christmas holiday stream. And it's actually pretty cool. I have the kit over there. I don't know if I want to pull it out. It's going to be hard to try to demo it on the Switch, but it's actually really neat. And I think we might actually try to demo it on one of our streams, because I did the first couple of components of it, and I wanted to do the rest of them. I think there's like 6 of them and it's the one that has the piano on it where you could put the Switch right in. So that's pretty cool. You know, and honestly, I think once we got that one going, you can use it to make music and things like that on it. So, but yeah, if you're visiting us again, feel free to pop in the stream, or in the chat, let us know. And also it's pretty helpful if there's some topics or any thoughts you guys want to talk about. I'm going to try to flip around OBS and see how well it works on playing or going over like video stuff. So let me check it out. Let's see what we got. This is going to be a little bit dicey, so kind of bear with us while we figure out how the quality is going to work. But I will still try to look at some pretty cool game engines. There's sand. Let's see how good it is. As long as it centers up nicely, I think it'll be pretty cool. Let me do this. So I think is this a game building like an actual engine, which would be pretty cool if it's an engine. Looks amazing. But this looks kind of like a game. Let's see. over. I lost a little bit of time trying to just get the machine tuned right for performance. You know, again, OneDrive was killing out the Wi-Fi, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. If you guys know any kind of good game engines, I'll try to test them out, but right now I'm going with Godot. I just put it on our systems yesterday. I think we tossed the latest Blender, like 5.1, a week or two ago, so it's really fresh. But I might just check out some cool renderings. Let's see. Let's check out amazing Blender animations. Let's see what they got. We'll start with Blender because I think they're going to be really, really good looking stuff. And then see what Godot can do. Yeah, the particle effects apparently look amazing. It's improved a lot on the latest one. I mean, that's good. That's really good. Oh, sorry, guys. Camera. Windows actually runs like 4 to 6 gigs of RAM out of the box. Just out of the box. Like a bunch of trash processes. It's just terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right, let's try this again. For sure. I think I'm gonna honestly have a lot of fun with Blender. What is that? Okay, we'll check that out. way you can like blend the 2D, 3D together and in the same tool, you don't have to leave Blender to do it, is really cool. And you can do it on the same screen even, which is pretty cool. Now this kind of feels, let me go to it. I get back on camera. I'm really stoked to actually try it out and just like see what I can do with it, to be honest. Because I mean, who doesn't want to do like cool animations and graphics, right? It's pretty exciting. But yeah, we are going to try to do more like podcast discussion topics. We're setting together some itineraries for full-blown sit-down podcasts. I don't know if I'm going to have anyone else on it. It would be a lot more fun. So I'm not talking to myself because it is weird talking to a camera. And get really used to it. I don't know how people do that, but it's always a lot more fun when the chat is busy. And I'm used to that on Twitch. We are just trying to get the ball rolling on YouTube. So it's kind of a little bit more of a quiet chat, especially I think because we have a lot of followers from like all the way on the other side of the globe. And we're over here in Texas, But you guys have probably been seeing a lot about us because of the World Cup. I'm sure you've been hearing a lot about Buc-ee's. That's a big one. Giant gas station and how big the food is and all of that stuff. So those clips are pretty hilarious. Matter of fact, if I can find them, because they're usually on like Facebook or something, those would be a lot of fun to react to, right? Because for me, a lot of that stuff's just around the corner. So, but yeah, so we can kind of mix it up. And as far as the tech talks, we can save those for the big podcasts, right? Let's see. Let's check out. Anyway, yeah. So we did lose a little bit of time. Oh, that looks good. I think you can actually knock it out pretty easily. I'm almost tempted to do, let me. So the trade-off is the EEVEE one, which is the fast one. Can struggle with accurate refractions, complex bounce lighting, and caustics. And some effects need manual setup, like placing light probes. The cycle just does it all automatically. But, I mean, you need crazy hardware for it, so. But for stylized work, it's often better. Yeah. Okay, that's really cool. All right. So we'll look at a few more things. Let's look at Blender itself, like Blender channel. See what they got. So we're not just clicking around people's stuff. 1.23 mil. Wait, what's Blender Studio? Welcome to the official Blender Studio channel. I'm going to open that one up too. Is that like a thing? Is that their own productions or something? Here, the team behind Blender Open Movies shares their work. Okay, so it's like their own content, short films and all that. So this is like perfect stuff to watch. Is it going to... Oh, come on. Let me open it in a new thing. Here we go. This is probably going to look good. We'll do a window and camera. It'll just look a little weird on the 6 or 19 by 6. Oh man, pretty. These are really neat. So they did this one 7 years ago. Oh yeah, I can tell. It's a very, very different platform. They're kind of making it stop animation. I don't know why. Because Blender's capable. So then if I were to look, so that's Blender Studio, and then you have Blender themselves. You can't go wrong with a cat video. What's the game where you're kind of playing around, walking around as a cat? All right, let's see what's new in this. Everything new in Blender 5.1, because that's actually the one I just got. So, wanting to see what that's about.
Blender 5.1 has just been officially released, and it includes some awesome new features, with most of the focus being on quality of life enhancements, stability, and polish, after the devs just finished up another round of Winter of Quality. I'm Jonathan Lampel from cgcookie.com, and in this video, we're going to talk all about it. First up, font filling for text objects is now significantly better, so the types of fonts you can use in EEVEE are no longer so limited. Filling in general is now up to 5 times faster, especially for n-gons with many sides.
Okay, that might matter if you have like a bunch of stuff going on.
You can now choose to correct the normals for flipped faces when applying an object's scale. When selecting edge loops, there's now a redo panel, and you can choose where that loop ends, such as at seams or sharp edges. When the loop is a boundary loop, you can control whether it passes through inner corners, outer corners, or n-gons. When the loop is a face loop or edge ring, you can even stop at material boundaries. While beveling, you can now hold down Control to snap to even increments and use Shift for more precision. You can now reliably use the Redo panel to adjust vertex slides. Undo in Edit mode is now 20 to 30% faster. The exact
so a lot of performance improvements.
Can be up to 35% faster for meshes with lots of attributes.
Yeah, the cutout meshes.
Solver is slightly faster as well. For reference, this object is almost a 500,000 triangles.
Okay, yeah.
Curve fitting is now more accurate, which gives better results
huge.
when drawing freehand Bezier curves. The curves also now have more stats in the statistics overlay. The lasso,
so you can like hand draw 3D
tools were added to the curves sculpt mode.
In like
the
I guess pieces. I don't know.
Everything inside of
any
given
the words.
UDIM tile, and there's a new edge.
That's pretty cool. Like they're making it very like fluid to use styluses on the laptops
strips
now.
Of faces are better handled when masking and smoothing. You can now toggle to the mask brush by alt left clicking, or toggle to mask erasing with Control.
It looks just like fun to be in, you know.
You can now cancel a stroke while painting by hitting escape. The asset shelf icons can now go as small as 24 pixels. A blur brush for colors was added to sculpt.
And this is an open source environment, so it's really cool.
To the palette while sculpting with Shift X and left click. Sampling colors in vertex paint mode now reads the attribute color directly rather than the viewport color that might have a view transform. And color sampling in any mode now supports dragging to get an average of the colors you draw over for easy blending. Changing things like selection and which texture is active in texture paint mode can now be undone with Ctrl-Z.
All right, we're going to speed through.
In the dope sheet, interpolation line colors now indicate the interpolation type. On destructive smoothing,
he's getting a little bit of techno-babble.
Any weirdness, the fill tool just works, and you don't have to use holdout materials as a workaround.
So like font filling, that's hilarious. You think that would be simple, but I guess in like 3D software, maybe not so much.
Nodes, a new bone info node allows you to get the transform data of any bone in an armature. Combine this with the attribute constraint from the last release, and you can now both rig your nodes and node your rigs. There are 6 new grid nodes.
I'm gonna have to look at this one a little bit more. This is like background.
EEVEE got new sliders for adjusting the intensity
listening
of direct
stuff,
and
you know.
indirect light. EEVEE reflection planes now support glossy materials again. The shader to RGB node now works with transparency again. The maximum number of AOVs, the arbitrary output variables for compositing, was...
All right. Too technical, sir. You're not going to do that. It's going to be too much. But, yeah, I mean, the tool has really gotten really good. I'm kind of excited to mess with it a little bit. Okay, so Blender Studio is kind of the more fun place to be. You can see a lot of what the output of what it can all do. But they're trying to demo it, of course. I mean, that makes sense, right? because they're showing off the tool. But yeah. All right, so that's Blender. So let's check out Godot. Let's see. I feel like Godot is more capable than they are letting on. I don't feel like, maybe because the team is smaller or something, they're not showing off how good it can be. Okay, this might be like someone else's channel. I don't know. I'm going to check that out just to make sure. But let me see if this is actually like a guy or if it's legit. No, this is like a guy. Oh, on Edge is hanging up on me. It loves to do that every once in a while. Check my resources. I've gotten pretty good at like making stuff not take as much RAM, but kind of. Yeah, I think this is just like a guy's channel, so we're gonna stick with the vendors. So I saw like off their website their previews of the games they did, but I want to see some like craziness. Here we go. Well, that's Godot 4. What are they on now? I don't know what they're on now. I think they've been doing some streams too. Yeah, they just don't really have anything like really like that's a 2019 show. That's 7 years ago. Like what they're just really small. I think they're relying on the community or something to show it off, because I know it's capable of doing a lot of stuff, but they're putting all their time and energy in actually like doing this, building this environment to do the stuff, you know? So yeah, it's just a lot. This is probably one of the developers like, oh man, I just worked like an 18-hour shift and now I'm streaming how to do stuff or something. I don't know. So yeah, you got to see it a lot of the results from like other people. But it's a fun engine to be in, to be honest. It's just I just touched on it and I was having a blast. Within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I was like, this is great, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, so we'll see. We'll see what we kind of produce with that and tinker around. But I'm going to steer clear of Unreal for a while, and because that's going to be the big, you know, AAA title 3D games. Even though Godot added the highest performance like shader engine to do all that stuff, so they do have that option, and it's more recently added. So there might be some capabilities there to making really, really beautiful games. I'm not sure where the limits are or how they add up. There's not really a lot of good comparisons. So anyway, I think that kind of covers it for that. So I think I might call it. I did have a bit of a test stream for the first hour or so where I was getting my settings and everything going. But we will try, I don't know if it's going to be on the weekend. We're going to try a scripted podcast setup where it can be a sit down, like, I don't know if someone's going to sit with me or not. That'd be a lot more fun, because I definitely am a lot better at doing a Q&A and answering questions with people. It makes the conversation more interesting. Definitely will have more of my personality in there, because once I get heated up or engaged in a conversation, it's a whole nother kind of thing, right? Versus being huddled up on a computer and just looking at tutorials and videos, which is a way slower thing to do. So I want to be able to actually have like dialogue and conversation and actually dive deep into the stuff that all the research and knowledge you kind of collect over time. And I think I'm doing these daily streams on my own to build our kind of environment, because we're actually pushing, pull the mic up, we're pushing a 4K HDR, 10-bit HDR stream on YouTube. So that's a lot of work, you know? But I think it's pretty cool, because if we're doing things with any video demoing, graphics, even the camera itself probably looks amazing. The only thing is the capture for the camera, the capture card,
is making it 8-bit, but everything else is the 4K, you know, high res, everything like that. And even with that limit, I'm sure it still looks amazing. So we got the production quality stuff going on. You know, so I think we need a more interesting panel for a podcast. We can really kind of get in it with the conversation. And then maybe some out and about content. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the States or if y'all want to see. That would be more on videos. We might do some just neat editing and like showing just kind of different spots and editing it in and maybe showing different parts of where we're at, maybe the world. Who knows what we might do with it. But yeah, so we're kind of figuring out our format. I've been... let's see, I think starting on the live stream, I think I started it maybe from where we're at Sunday night,
and then Monday night, Tuesday night, and then tonight. So like 4 days straight, tinkering, getting the settings going. But for the videos we did for over the past couple months or so, a couple months, we try to do one every 2 weeks. They're kind of our charted infographic stuff. And we're creating like subcategories and subclassifications on what we're doing. So I don't know if everyone, like, we have a whole bunch of languages being viewed. So we're doing subtitles. We're not dubbing them. I hate the AI dubbing because it sounds like a robot. So like, I'm not even turning that on. I figure subtitles is better than like a fake voice, right? It just kills the excitement. Like all the inflections I have right now will get washed out with AI voice. So YouTube builds that in, and it even tries to draft it where you can push that out, and I just killed it. Because this right now would be like, oh, when YouTube da kind of thing. It's monotonic. It's terrible, just terrible. So we're definitely not doing the whole AI voice thing, but what we are doing is adding multiple subtitle tracks, and we're doing the best we can to like make them accurate translations for like, I don't know. I think we did 11 different languages. We're kind of just depending on the country. We kept them broad because it'll say, you know, German in 5 different spots, and then French in 5 different spots. Not, you know, so we'll do the broad, most accepted version of that language, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, if you guys want to keep joining us on the stream, tagging in on the chat, and if it's a one-on-one like that, it'd be a lot more interesting if I have an active chat. Otherwise, when we do a podcast and there, maybe I'm being asked questions or there's like someone with me, whole different ball game. So in the meantime, let me know what you think about Godot, which I want to say Godot. That's such a weird name, but Godot for a game engine, and kind of how it compares, I guess, pros and cons versus Unreal. Obviously, we know Unreal is going to be like the big heavy hitter as far as graphics and shading and all that good stuff. But I think they said it's like 40 gigs out the gate install. So, and then all the Blender stuff. And if you guys are just along for the ride for the fun content, so we can just push out the fruits of our labor, or if y'all want to see some of the processes, you know, I don't know if we're going to do a lot of IRL. Maybe we can kind of show some of the cool stuff around the office with our servers and equipment. That might be how we can cover a little bit of IRL. But yeah, just let us know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe as always, and the buttons down there somewhere. Ring the bell to get notifications, and hit us up on the chat to let us know like kind of what you want to see or what streams you like, what you hated, the works, you know. And we'll just kind of go from there.